here, guys. Tokozani, Dinelang, Kanya, Lily Sadie. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are having a beautiful week. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait for a few people to join the live and then can go straight to business. Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, so generally today we're going to be talking about dreaming of herbs, right? So there are a lot of people that tend to have dreams whereas they're being shown herbs. They have dreams whereby, yeah, they're seeing herbs and some of them don't know what they need to do with that particular dream. So I'm going to be talking about that along with the type of spirits that actually make you dream of herbs, along with what you need to do when you actually dream of those particular herbs and what you're not supposed to do. So it's gonna be a very short video or live session with you guys. But yeah, once we're done with the live sessions, we can have a little Q&A. But I'm only gonna be here for like an hour. Tokozani, welcome guys. I hope you guys are good. So I don't know who joined. They're not really showing me who joined. But yeah, hope you guys are well though. So as I was saying, we're going to be talking about dreaming of herbs and the spirits that actually do that, and also why you may be dreaming of those particular herbs, right? Okay, let me wait for a few more people to join and then we're gonna get into business, basically. Yeah. Yo guys, I don't know how to use this thing. I really don't know how to use this whole live thing. Okay, but it's fine. It's just that it's preventing me from seeing any comments. Filter. Okay, I don't want any filters on my thingy. All right, so basically what I want us to get to talk about basically is that thing out, which type of ancestors allow you or rather come to you and show you herbs. So most of the times people that dream of herbs are people by Longore. Some of them have already initiated, but it does occur sometimes that a person who has not yet initiated can have dreams whereas they're seeing herbs in their dreams and whereas they don't know what it is that needs to be done, right? So there are certain spirits or ancestors that allow you to dream of herbs, right? And these ancestors, first of all, getting Ngakachupye. So we've made a video about Ngakachupye, and one thing that I've mentioned is that Ngakachupye are basically independent spirits, right? And the reason why I classify my ancestors in this manner is so people can understand what certain ancestors are for. So independent spirits, in my definition, are ancestors that initiate a person on their own. These are ancestors that take you through initiation. These are ancestors that allow you to learn everything that you need to learn by basically that allow you to learn everything that they have to teach you. They teach you everything that they need to teach you in terms of your spirituality and how you help people and how you heal people on their own. Meaning they take you through all the necessary spiritual procedures themselves without the need of a kopela, right? So the Agachupia are those ancestors, meaning that when you are like governed by the spirits, they are also going to teach you herbs. Hence, a lot of people who have not even yet initiated would find themselves dreaming of herbs because they are governed by the Ngakachupia and they do not need to initiate. Secondly, we have the Mdawe spirit. So Mdawe is a water spirit, like I've mentioned in most of my videos. And there are different types of Mdawe spirits, right? There are Mdawe spirits I don't go completely. They don't go to initiation, but generally, all Mdawe spirits can actually come through and teach you about herbs. And the reason why this is the case is because Mdawe is a very versatile spirit and is a spirit that also uses what we call lefatla. Lefatla is something that prophetic people used to see and actually communicate with like their ancestors. So Mdawe spirits oftentimes they would come to you and tell you certain herbs, but before they will tell you the certain herbs, they would come to you and tell you that a specific person is gonna come. This person has this particular problem, and this is how you're gonna need to help this particular person. So it's quite normal from Mdawe spirit to tell you the herbs that are needed. And other times in rare cases, they would actually show you certain secret herbs that are water herbs, right? So they're actually certain herbs that not all ancestors, not all sangomas can actually get access to, which are actually water herbs, herbs that are found in rivers, oceans, and lakes, right? We also have abalozi. Abalozi is a prophetic gift, like I said in the previous video, and this prophetic gift actually speaks to you, communicates with you via dreams, visions, and also through the ears. You hear them whistling, you hear whistles in your ears. Sometimes your ears are blocked, but eventually, as time goes on, as your spiritual gift manifests and becomes stronger, these whistles can actually turn into voices. You can translate what they're saying. Né? And lastly, which is everyone's favorite spiritual gift. I don't know why, because this spiritual gift is actually the most difficult one yet, right? And this spiritual gift is in Zunza. So like I said, most people that have in Zunza find themselves whereas they are initiated by their ancestors. So it's pretty much similar to Nyakachupia, but Wana, they are initiated most of the times underwater or via dreams and visions. So Zunza is also very versatile, but just like the others, this is one of the spiritual gifts that actually come through and actually show you herbs and muti in your dreams. So like I said in the beginning of this video, certain people, they dream of herbs, they dream of muti, but in their dreams of muti, you'd find that this person hasn't yet initiated and they don't know what they need to do. Okay, hi Elizabeth, I hope you're good. Say, can you please tell me what it means when you freak of jumping, when you dream of jumping off a building? Okay, being in high places is an indication of certain prophetic gifts most of the time, while other times is an indication that you need to you need to attend to your ancestors. And when you're jumping off this particular building, it depends on how you're jumping. Are you falling off it, or are you just basically leaping off it? So if you're falling off this building, it can indicate troubles in your life spiritually. But if you're just jumping off it, this might mean that you're about to take a very huge leap in your spiritual journey that can actually oh, you're falling, yeah, that can actually indicate distress or problems in terms of your spiritual life, your life generally, whereas things are going to start falling apart because you are basically lacking in appeasing certain ancestors. If you're spiritually gifted, if you're not spiritually gifted, it's an indication that there are certain rituals or things that need to be done, right? So I hope that answered your question. I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about. I hope that was a good answer. I hope that was a good answer because I was actually going fast, so I can actually go back into what I was talking about. Elizabeth Tabela go, oh, it's audio bookmasters Tokoza Gogo. Does this topic apply to the washer? Yes, actually, you can also have dreams of the washer as well. So, like I talked about, like I mentioned, Balozi is part of this ancestors. And remember that Balozi is a prophetic ancestor. Ne? Ndawe is a traditional ancestor. It's a water spirit, but it can also go hand in hand with a prophetic ancestor. So there's Ndawe that is a prophetic spirit, right? So you might find yourself having dreams of the washer as well. So basically, when I'm just saying herbs, I'm talking about everything in general, not just one thing. Yeah. Elizabeth, thank you. You're most welcome, Elizabeth. You're most welcome. So yeah, I'm talking about everything. And sometimes even the last gift that can allow you to see herbs is prophetic gifts on their own, right? Whereas you'll dream of certain dewash or certain salts and you're directed on how to use them for certain things. But there are issues that I encountered when you have dreams of herbs, right? And I noted them down and I want to go into details about each and every one of them. That way you guys can know what you need to do when you dream of herbs and how to go about it. And you guys can also chime in as well and tell me your experiences and how you feel certain matters can be attended to, right? The first issue is dreaming of herbs but not being shown what the name of this herb is, right? So this is something that occurs a lot, especially with people by Longore. They are not yet initiated and they don't have much knowledge of herbs, right? So you have a dream of a herb. Let's say, for instance, you dream of Munamaledi, right? That is basically the ancestral male spiritual herb, right? So you have a dream of that particular herb and you don't know what's going on. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but let me unplug this. So you have a dream of this particular herb and you don't know what it is and you don't know why you're seeing this particular herb, but and you don't know what its name is, right? So the first thing that you need to do as a person who had this particular dream, you need to go to your ancestors and partner, right? Because there are many reasons why you are not able to see the name of these herbs or why you're not shown where to find these herbs. And that could be because, first of all, there could be an ancestral blockage. This blockage could be spiritual in terms of people that are blocking your dreams to actually make sure that you're not able to appease your ancestors. And secondly, it could be ancestral blockage in terms of ancestors fighting amongst themselves and some ancestors blocking other ancestors from coming to you and speaking to you and telling you what you need to do for them, right? So you need to go and partner, speak to your ancestors, conversate with with them and tell them that, okay guys, I had this dream, I saw this herb, but however I'm not shown the name or what to do with this particular herb. And also ask them, what should I do with it and where can I find it? That is also a very important thing to ask them, right? And in this particular pathing session, I'd say most of the times, like I've spoken in most of my videos, the yellow candle is for clarity. So you're gonna need the clarity when you're asking the ancestor, and the best way to get the fastest results would be for you to actually use the yellow candle for quick results at the end of the day. So this is whereas you need to communicate with your ancestors. And one thing that I want to emphasize with you guys, in terms of spirituality and ancestors and whatnot, it is very important for you to communicate with your ancestors, because a lot of people, you have dreams, you have visions, you see things and you can't make sense of them. Dreams come in riddles most of the times. But instead of going to your ancestors and asking what's going on, you go to the next spiritual person because you're getting clarity. And maybe for them, they don't see what is you're just supposed to see, because it is a message for you and your ancestors only. So sometimes it's very important for you to speak with your ancestors. So in that case, you need to partner with a yellow candle and ask your ancestors, what is this herb? That could be the first question. What is this herb, right? Where can I find it? How can I find it? And note that some ancestors respond fast while others don't. So you might find that you ask this question and you don't get a response. And you're like, okay, what is going on, right? But that thing, some ancestors, they need time to actually come to you and speak to you. So you don't have to be very impatient, because the minute you are impatient with your ancestors and their response is the slower it gets for them to come and speak to you, because one of the major qualities of spirituality is patience. If you lack patience, you are not going to move forward, right? That is why this is something that I was actually speaking about with my mom, right? People right longer, they want to go and initiate right now. Their ancestors are dragging their feet, but the ones that don't want to initiate, those are the ones that are being pushed to actually go and initiate. And that is because the ancestors look at you and how patient you are and say, well, okay, you are patient enough, we can take you to the next level. But if you're not patient, you're not going to be able to withstand certain things that come with spirituality. Okay, going back to the topic, right? The second issue that is often encountered when dreaming about herbs is whereas you dream of herbs but you're not being shown how to use them, right? So this is whereas you see a herb, right? You see what it's called. You also see where you can find it. Either they show you a certain part of the forest where you can go dig it up, a certain mountain where you can dig it up, or you're shown a specific place where you can go buy it, but you're not shown what it is that you need to do to actually what it is that you need to do to use this herb, right? And the reasons why this is the case, first of all, it does go back to blockages spiritually. I talked about two types of blockages, which are blockages from your enemies, spiritual attacks, and secondly, blockages from your ancestors while they're blocking other ancestors that are working with you. The third reason for this to happen, for you not to know how to use this herb, is because the specific ancestor that is showing you this particular herb is feeling as though you are not ready to actually get this herb at this moment. This is whereas you have not yet initiated, you have not yet appeased your ancestors. So whereas they are showing you these things for you to get them, right? Take note of this. You are supposed to get this particular herb, but you're supposed to also wait for your ancestors to come to you and say that now it is the time for you to actually use this herb, man. And when exactly you're gonna use this herb is gonna be dependent on your ancestors, right? You can find that you have not yet initiated, but they show you the herb, and 2 weeks later they say, well, this particular person is gonna come, take the herb that we showed you and use it in this manner. But until you're shown how to use a specific herb, even if you can come to me and I can say, oh no, that herb you use it for Sijish or you use it for Sfulan, you cannot necessarily take that herb and use it for that, because it will not work, because your ancestors have not permitted you to do that. You need permission. The same way when we use herbs as healers, right? Be as prophetic people or traditional people, when we use herb, it is not our strength as matlarena I longore are basic like but it is the strength of our ancestors that is very important. So if we're not permitted to use this herb, then trust it might not even work the way that it's supposed to, right? So you need to get them to tell you that now it's time for you to use them. So that is why most people dream of herbs but they're not shown what to do with them, right? I mentioned blockages from enemies, blockages from ancestors, and lastly it's not the right time to actually use this herb. But let's say, for instance, you are not able to see how to use a herb because you are encountering blockages in your life. How do you go about that, right? So this is where as you need to look for what exactly is the main cause of this blockage, right? Yes, your enemies are the main cause, but what are they using? That's actually what I want to say. If, let's say, for instance, there are different things to block something, to block your dreams, to block your visions, to block your ability to use certain herbs. It could be you, but we all know that if you're in darkness, you cannot use herbs and get the best results out of them. You cannot get clarity in your dreams and visions. It could be suggestion, it could be debatana, tokoloshis, it could be a lot of things. It could be a lot of muti in your life that is preventing that. So your main objective will be to try and find out what muti is it that is being used to block me from understanding how to use the herbs that my ancestors are showing me, right? And once you understand what is the main source of blockage, you're going to need to go ahead and remove this particular blockage, because as long as there's a blockage, that means that it's going to prevent you from moving forward in your spiritual journey. Because the minute you're shown herbs and whatnot, that is like actually a sign that you have propelled or been propelled to a new chapter of your spiritual journey and your spiritual growth. So the minute there's a blockage, that means that you're gonna be stuck in that place for a long time and be unable to actually appease your ancestors in the way that you're supposed to appease them, right? So you need to try and find out what's the blockage when it's spiritually related, spiritual attack related, and fix it. And if it's ancestral related, this is whereas you need to try and put a balance amongst your ancestors, right? So there are people that have multiple ancestors, traditional ancestors and prophetic ancestors. So when a traditional ancestor shows you herbs and the prophetic ancestor blocks them, that means that you need to find a balance. This is whereas you need to know what both these ancestors want and do it for all of them so they don't end up blocking each other. And secondly, you need to join these ancestors. Ancestors that are joined will not block each other, will not prevent each other from coming to speak to you. They will rather propel each other, whereas they all move in the same pace. So those are things that you need to look at if, like, maybe you're seeing herbs but you're not being shown how to use them. Okay. So the other issue that people encounter when they have dreams of herbs is that you dream of herbs and you're not being shown where to find them. Okay, so with herbs, let's say for instance, you see a herb, you see its name, you don't know where to find it, right? That can be an indication that you can go get it anyway. So there are a lot of people I know, they sell herbs, right? You can just go to this person, what does this particular herb, this is the name of the herb, I'm looking for it. You saw it in your dream. You saw the name. You'll be able to find it, right? And secondly, maybe you don't know its name, but you saw the herb, can go look for it and you'll find it. So that one's a very simple thing to actually tackle, right? But if now you are someone who wants to actually go dig out your herbs for yourself, this is where as you have to ask your ancestors to show you where to find this particular herb. And Lorna, understand that herbs are in different places. There are certain places where as you can only find ponyoka. There are certain places where you can only find siponi. There are certain places where you can only find herbs for islis or mwakona jotle, stuff like that. So you need to understand, like, basically ask your ancestors the right areas for you to find a specific herb or the right location. And one thing that happens, which is actually like a superpower thing. Okay, it's not a superpower, I'm just being playful. But people would find themselves dreaming of herbs and they're not specifically shown where to find them, and they'd go to the woods, they'd patla and just roam around that place, and for some reason they'll be called towards that particular herb, right? And you know what, some herbs are root herbs, man, and the leaves will be sticking out, so there's no way you can know that this is the right thing, but you'll be called to it. It will call to you in a way that you just keep passing it, but you're called to it. That is a sign that that could be the herb that you are looking for, right? So it means that you have to go to the woods, you patla there, and voila, you might see what you're looking for. If not, that means that it might not be the right time or it might not be the right place. So you have to go back to the drawing board, speak to Idlozi lakho, and try to see where can you find this particular thing, ne? Okay, and also the last point is being shown how to use the herbs but no direction on when to use it. So it's very important to actually understand that everything has proper direction, right? For instance, I consult people, I see their problems, and when I check what can I help this person, the one thing that I'm actually looking for is not really permission to help a person, but rather the right muti to use on this particular person. Bear in mind, right? So you see a herb, you see how to use it, but you're not shown when you need to use this herb. Né? This could be an indication that yes, this is the herb, this is how you use it, but it is not yet the right time to use it. Then most of the time you'll find that your ancestors have a specific person that they're going to send who's going to need this particular herb, and you're going to have to use it in that particular point in time. Like I said, spirituality is a matter of patience, right? You cannot rush into something just like that and expect yourself to actually get the positive results, whereas your ancestors have not actually said, or this is the right path and this is the right thing for you to do. So you need to make sure that you're at a point where long water you are guided on how and when to use a specific hack. You can be shown how, but when you should use it is also important, especially if you have not yet initiated, because your ancestors are not all evoked, and to properly use herbs with the strength of your ancestors, they need to accompany you, right? That is why it's important to evoke your spirits prior to assisting and helping people, name. But general knowledge in all of this, name. One thing what needs to be done as soon as you get the herb that you are shown by your ancestors. First of all, you don't just get the herb and just lay it there and think you'll be shown everything. Then, so there are two methods that I would recommend to any person who is encountering this particular thing. Right? Okay, there's a message that is held back. Apparently, the message is inappropriate. I don't know who sent the inappropriate message, but yeah, try not to be inappropriate. I don't know. Okay, so there are two things that need to be done prior to using herbs when you dream of them, right? And this is something that applies to both traditional sangomas, prophetic people that have already appeased their ancestors, evoked their spiritual gifts, and people that are yet to actually appease their ancestors, but they're already seeing herbs, right? The first thing, which is very important, when you get the herb that you were shown by your ancestors, name, even if you weren't shown by the ancestors, a general herb that you looked for, like I said, applies to everybody. The first thing that needs to be done is that you need to actually partner for this herb. If it's a traditional herb, you have to partner to you have to partner for it. Tokozani sikolile. I hope you're well. You need to partner for this particular herb. Inform the ancestors that this is the herb that I brought, that you showed me, or this is the herb that I decided to get. I was drawn to this herb. Please guide me on how to use this herb and how to properly help people with this herb, right? It's very important for you to do that. You cannot just buy a herb and use it without introducing it to your ancestors. That is actually you asking for disaster, because most of the times it does not work in the manner that it is supposed to work, right? Secondly, when it's stiwasho or like prophetic things, right, you need to pray over them and introduce them to your prophetic spirits, right? By introducing it to your prophetic spirits, mother and daughter was born black charcoal. Okay. Harif, I hope you're well. Is it the complexion in the family, or was it just a skin disorder? Because basically I don't know anything about a spiritual occurrence or a traditional occurrence, whereas a person is born with dark charcoal skin, unless if it's their melanin or their natural skin tone. So please clarify on that so I can actually assist you if I can, if I know what the cause is. But like as I was saying, right, you cannot use a herb or siwash or holy water or holy salt without actually introducing it to your ancestors and your prophetic spirits. But with traditional things, you need to partner for them. With prophetic things, you need to pray over them. And one mistake that people should not do is to partner or pray over this particular muti at night. By doing that, you're already weakening your muti. By leaving it out at night, you're already weakening it. That is a call for disaster, right? The second thing, especially for people along they are shown a specific herb or a specific muti, and but at the same time they're not shown how to use it, is whereas you partner for it, you pray for it, you chop it up into pieces, and then you sleep over it at night, right? By doing that, you're allowing your ancestors to actually come through and guide you properly on how to use this particular herb, this particular muti in detail. So it's actually one of the best way to get the answers, especially if your ancestors respond to you slowly, especially if when you go to your ancestors and ask them for clarity in regards to certain things, you get the results that you're looking for immediately. This will actually push them to speak to you a lot faster in terms of what is going on. Okay, Harif is saying sorry, that was joking about me. Oh, you were joking. Okay. I actually didn't understand what she was saying. Like Yeah, I don't know, but like you confused me a bit. But at least it wasn't anything serious because I actually was thinking to myself, okay, what's going on here? What's going on? Okay, but that's fine. So as I was saying, yeah. So you actually put it under your pillow for specific days, and that is actually a great method to do with a lot of things that you're shown. Be it a stick, be it a muti, be it a salt. The best way to know how to use it and when to use it will be to put it under your pillow and sleep over it for a couple of nights. Basically, 3 nights is the main number because three is a very spiritual number, the same as seven and also 12. But we will talk about spiritual prophetic numbers as time goes on, right? So those are the points that I wanted to bring across. That way you guys can have a lot of clarity in terms of herbs and muti, and especially what you need to do if you keep dreaming of them, but you're encountering certain problems that I pointed out here, and how to go about this particular thing. So yeah, that was it. If you guys have any question regards to what I was talking about, or just general questions, queries about dreams that you had, you can now actually ask about that, and I'll be more than happy to start answering your questions. And for those of you guys that joined the live a bit late, and you missed out on the topic, just remember I was talking about dreaming of herbs but not being sure what to do with it for certain reasons, and I talked about multiple reasons and how to go about it. And yeah, you can definitely go back and look at the video once it's posted after the live session. That way you guys can actually see what I said here and there, and you can also chime in on the comment section here, or even later on to actually bring out like to actually share your own personal experiences, or rather how it is that you attend to things when you're encountering this kind of situation. So yeah, you can do that. So yeah, we can go to questions if you have any questions to ask, that is. If not, then I will leave you guys eventually very soon. But yeah, I've actually been excited to go live. I've been procrastinating it for a while, so today I forced myself, so you know what, let me go live and just see you guys and interact with you guys. Yeah, that is me right there. Okay, so any questions? Okay, Ulebureng says, Tokozani Ulebureng, I hope you're well. Informative. Thank you, Gogo. Is there any significance if I enjoy the smell of muti? I really enjoy. Honestly, that is actually like that is you're very similar to me, right? I actually enjoyed the smell of muti before I even knew that I was spiritually gifted, right? And I feel like it has a lot to do with being drawn to your traditional gift if you're spiritually gifted, or being drawn to your roots as a spiritual or traditional person, right? And another thing, gore muti, like being able to smell muti is actually a very powerful thing, right? Because most of us as healers, we don't necessarily label out our muti, but you can tell what a muti is from its smell. And even from its smell, you can even know what it is that needs to be done, or how you need to use this particular muti. I know it's weird, right? And also when someone comes to you with muti, because we have this sharp sense of smell in terms of muti, you'll be able to know, okay, there's muti in this particular area. So it's actually a way in which you connecting with your spiritual guides, a way in which you are able to understand what certain muti is and how to use this particular muti. And lastly, it's a way in which your ancestors protect you, right? So certain people, what they do is that their gift is actually seeing muti in a sense, right? So even in like in the muti is crushed in a way that you can't see it, those people will be able to see it either physically or spiritually. There'll be a vision that comes through and says, oh, there's muti there. That is actually another thing. And even by looking at a muti, you'll be able to know what muti is. So the ability to smell muti, like once I feel like most of the people, it occurs once they're done initiating. So what happens that when you're done initiating your ancestors, I feel this is where as your sense of smell in regards to muti becomes stronger, your sense of sight, like basically you can smell muti, you can see muti, you can even taste it, right? I know it's weird because some muti actually taste the same, but even from the taste of certain muti you can tell, okay, this is a part, this is this type of muti, this is that type of muti. So it's one of the things that you're able to do as a spiritual person. So I'll say the significance of that will just be that you are connected with your ancestors, and you might actually even be a herbalist, because I actually notice this type of habit more with people that are actually more herbalists than they are spiritual healers. Yes, certain spiritual healers can have both herbalistic gifts and spiritual healer gifts, but with herbalist it's more than thingy. Sikolile says, okay, I'm actually trying to pronounce the name properly. That's why I said like that. Tokoza Gogo, what happens when you dream of a herb, but in reality, when you look for it, you can't find it? Okay, so when you dream of a herb, but you can't find it, name this, like I actually mentioned this earlier. I think you hadn't joined our live yet, right? So with this kind of situation, this is whereas there might be a blockage of some sort in terms of your dream, because most of the times when you dream of a herb, you're supposed to see where exactly you need to find it, right? And this is whereas when you can't find this particular herb, you need to look at what is blocking you from seeing this herb. Is it spiritual attacks, or is it ancestral blockages? Ancestral blockages where one ancestor is blocking the ancestor that is showing you this herb from showing you exactly where you need to find it, because they don't want you to appease that ancestor more than them, right? And spiritual blockages is whereas someone else blocks you from actually seeing certain things spiritually, remembering your dreams or visions, because they don't want you to move forward in terms of your spiritual gift. So when that happens, what you need to do is, first of all, identify what is blocking you from seeing this herb and work on fixing it. If it's spiritual reasons, you need to go and make sure that you remove whatever that is. Like I said, it could be suggestion, it could be fetus, fulani, stokoloshi, whatever type of issue that is blocking it, you need to go and remove it. If it's ancestral issues, ancestral blockages, you need to balance out your ancestors, see what they want, and also you need to join them so they will not be blocking each other from showing you certain things, right? And if it's none of the above, then that means that it could be that your ancestors are showing you this herb. They might even show you how to use it, but it is not yet time for you to use this herb, hence they're not showing you where to find it yet. But it's always best to actually partner and speak to them and inform them that yes, I am gonna get this herb, but I will not use it until you give me the right direction and tell me when to use it exactly. So like I said in the beginning of the video, it is very important to communicate with your ancestors, to talk to them, make them understand where you are coming from as Wanabadimu, because you'll dream of a herb. Sometimes some of us, we don't write journals about what we're seeing in our dreams and visions, so automatically we forget these things, right? So speak to them just so you can find it and wait for them for their instruction on when to use it and how to use it. Okay, and also another thing that I forgot, one of the reasons why you might be shown where to find it but you can't find it, it could be that spiritually you are not completely ready or strong enough, because certain things you are able to see them in dreams and visions, but you might not be able to see them physically, because physically you're not as strong as you are spiritually when you're asleep, because when you're asleep you are tapped into the spiritual realm more, so you're able to see things more in detail. So it will be very important for you as a person, especially when you see, like when you have dreams of herbs and whatnot, to strengthen your body spiritually. And strengthening your body spiritually, yes, there are things like initiating, but there are also other things that you can do, like meditating, yoga, eating the right food. There are certain foods that you shouldn't eat for your spiritual growth, and also grounding yourself, like grounding yourself. This is where as you walk barefooted, you sleep on the ground on top of I don't know what they call it, a thatch mat. Yeah, by doing those things, you're strengthening yourself, and also investing in prayer and pathing that strengthens your spiritual body in the physical realm as well as the spiritual realm. That way you'll be able to find what you're looking for spiritually, even if you're shown where to find it and initially you couldn't find where it is. I hope that makes sense. I really hope I make sense by what I'm saying here. Okay, Ulebureng, she's saying, Togoza Gogo, my apologies for not greeting first. No, it's okay. You should relax. Don't worry about that. And thank you very much for your reply. I'm still taking baby steps, and I was told I am drawn to nature. Now it makes sense. Lisedi Gogo, Tokozani Lisedi. I'm glad that it makes sense. So basically, even the fact that you were told that you are drawn to nature, I believe that is a huge indication that you are a herbalist, meaning that you might actually have a gift ya more than anything, right? Mungunu or ngakachupe, one of the two. So by doing that, like one advice that I would give you, given the fact that you are told that you are drawn to nature, I'd say that it is very important for you to do things like sunbathing, hiking, going into the woods, hugging trees. I know a lot of people think that is crazy, but it's actually a very good way to strengthen your attraction to nature. And by doing that, by strengthening your attraction to nature, it also strengthens your spiritual gift, right? And also sometimes certain herbs, you're gonna be drawn to them. You don't know what they are for, you don't know why you're drawn to them. Collect them, and eventually, as time goes on, like I said, when you collect herbs, you partner for them, you inform your ancestors, and when your ancestors are ready, they will tell you why you were drawn to this particular herb, what it's used for, and when you should use it. So that's actually a beautiful thing, and at least you know that you're drawn to nature. So do those things. I believe that they will actually help you. And like I said, walk barefooted. That is the best way to ground yourself. Honestly, I don't know when last I wore shoes when I was just chilling in the house, but it's actually good because us spiritual people have issues with our legs, whereas they are often very painful because we are required to ground ourselves on a regular basis. So yeah, that's that. Okay. So yeah, if there are not gonna be any more questions, I will be loving and leaving you guys soon. But honestly, I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm happy that we are talking. It's been a while since I went live. I'm very excited about this. I don't want to lie. I've been procrastinating for a long time. And by the way, I've been waiting for someone to compliment my hair. I don't know why no one has said anything because I went all African woman for once in my life and no one is saying anything. Thank you, babe. Thank you. Because I nearly said. Yeah, as I was saying, I went all African woman and no one is saying anything about it. But it's fine. It's cool. I'll complain later. Anyways, Ella, I'm so excited. Like, there's gonna be a few more videos that I'm gonna be getting into very soon, and it's actually going to be about spiritual stroke, Sifulani. So I want to tackle a lot of spiritual illnesses that people encounter, and also the very like first symptoms that people encounter with this particular sicknesses. So I hope you guys will like that as well. And as always, if you have any recommendation on something that you basically wanna learn about or want me to talk about, please feel free to tell me, right? That way I'll be able to make that video, and if the video is already there, I can direct you to the right video. You're beautiful, Gogan. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I try. Stop it. Thank you so much, Lemuge. Okay, now I'm like this. I'm sorry. But thank you so much. I really appreciate the compliment. At least Lemuge is complimenting me. Ah, you guys. Okay, let me not complain, but I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna be talking about spiritual sicknesses along with certain signs that you are supposed to initiate underwater, because a lot of people have been asking me that. And before I actually get into that video, like one thing that I want to emphasize here in this live is that like initiating underwater is very much of a taboo in this day and age, right? Because we are not as connected with nature as we were back in the past. So it makes it difficult for our ancestors to actually do that for us. But it's very important to know the signs. That way, if you have some signs, you'll be able to do the necessary things to actually ensure that you connect yourself with your ancestors, then it makes it easier for you to do that. Thank you so much for the clarity and insight, Lisedi Kokohanya. Lisedi Tokozani, thank you so much for your time, and I'm very happy that I could give you the clarity that you needed. That's what I'm here for. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, like as I was saying, initiating underwater is something that I'd say that is a bit of a taboo in this day and age. It's not something that everyone does, and most people, their ancestors are literally opt to actually just initiating via your dreams and your visions. So but there are things that you can do to actually allow that to happen, but I'm pretty sure no one wants to go into the real for like 6 months to a year to 2 years. Like we have like life going on around us, so to put on hold on that is actually something new completely. But I will make a video on details about that, and how to tackle the entire thing, and how to go about making sure it happens and allowing your ancestors to work without any blockages whatsoever. So yeah, I really feel like that's gonna be a very important thing for us to look at. Whew, okay guys, so I see that there are no more questions and I'm out here blabbering because I talk too much. So yeah, I'm gonna love and leave you guys soon, so I'm just gonna wait for like 2 more minutes to see if there's no more questions. If there are, then if I dream of crying for someone, Tokozani, I hope you're good so far. So, if you have a dream and whereas in this dream you're crying for someone or about someone, like that could be an indication that something very awful is going to happen to a person. So usually most of the times where you dream about crying over someone, over something, can really much indicate death in this person's life, or a massive loss that is somewhat equivalent to death in that person's regards, right? So this is where, as a spiritual person, you may be indicated to actually warn this person that they need to be very cautious in what it is that they're doing. And apart from being very cautious, they also, it will be very important for them to actually go out and protect themselves. But learn as a spiritual person, you know, when sometimes people, you have dreams whereas certain things are happening to other people. You know these people, sometimes you don't know these people, you have a close relationship, you don't. It's very important for you to go and speak to that person about it. Sharing it with them or not only helps them, but it strengthens your spiritual gift. And secondly, it is very important for you to pray for them, because by seeing it, you're giving the strength to prevent whatever it is if that's happening. So if you're seeing yourself crying for someone, pray for this person, and also try to get clarity on what you're crying about. But in most cases, it could indicate a loss in this person's life. It could be death upon them, or death in terms of someone else in their family passing away. So yeah, it's a very serious dream to have. So pray for them, talk to them about it, and advise them to go and get the necessary clarity, and just basically find out what is going to happen that they need to prevent ASAP, because if you're dreaming it, it can be prevented. We missed you in your videos a lot. Please don't be a stranger. Loving the African look. Oh, thank you. Okay. I literally miss making videos too. Like I literally have my book here, and it has so many like things like I need to talk to you guys about. And this is literally my third book. And the issue is like being so tired now and then that I find it very difficult to actually make videos. But I'm actually going to like try to make more videos and try to go live more. That way you guys can like get a bit of knowledge from one, if you know what I mean. And I really appreciate the compliment. Honestly, I love this African look too. I think I'll do this more often. I feel more of myself now. So yeah, thank you. And I missed you guys more. I miss you guys a lot. I love your energy. Just a suggestion, Gogo. Could you please post a poster for live sessions a day before so we can avail ourselves and come in numbers? Yeah, definitely. You know, honestly speaking, I feel like today it was an impulse decision. I think that's why I didn't do the whole thing, whereas I informed you guys that I was gonna go live. But definitely next time I do that, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna post about it, or even make schedule a live session a lot earlier. That way you guys are prepared, because I understand that I'm catching a lot of you guys off guard. It's the middle of the week. Some of you guys are back from work. Some of you guys are back from your day-to-day routines. It's very, like, it's not considerate to go live on a weekday, whereas other people had plans and not preparing you guys for it. So yeah, next time I'll definitely do that. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I needed to hear it because I'm really not listening to myself sometimes. So yeah, I'll do that. Thank you so much for saying that. Martin, thanks. You're most welcome, Martin. But yeah, if there's any more details of that dream, do look into it as well. Usually in dreams, this is actually for Martin, right? For Fata Martin. Usually in dreams, you'd find that there are also other additional things that are happening in the background that can also guide you and indicate as to what exactly is gonna happen in this person's life. But yeah, I'm glad that I could give you clarity, and I hope my answer was accurate in your dream and what it is that you saw. Thank you so much for posting that question. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, as I was saying, I have a lot of things I need to record, and I will definitely do that. I'll try to be more consistent. I feel like that's something I've been preaching for months now. I've been saying that since last year, but I am gonna work on my timing. That way I am more active here on social media. That way you guys can still get a lot of videos with the information that is needed. I'll definitely do that. I'll do that. Yeah. Yo guys, it's hot though. I'm burning. It is so hot. Okay. So I'm gonna be taking like 3 more questions before I love and leave you guys. But yeah, if anyone else has another question, like, and this live is over, leave them on the comment section. I'll answer it. And if I don't answer it on the comment section, I'll make a video about it, or I will get into details about it in my next live. So I'll definitely do that. So yeah, 3 more questions before I love and leave you guys. That would be good. If everyone else is good and you guys got clarity on the topic I was talking about and you guys understand what we were talking about, then yeah, that would be good too. And I will be leaving guys. So I'll basically wait for like 2 minutes. And yeah, after that, I will go. Karavele Tokozani Lisedi. Alekanye, thank you. Is it possible for one to have Inzunza and Balozi? Oh yeah, it's very important. It's very possible. You know, especially in this day and generation, right? One thing that I've noticed that people don't just have one spiritual gift at one time. Like a lot of people have more, like have a lot of spiritual gifts. They are given by a lot of ancestors. And the reason why this is the case because a lot of our forefathers, a lot of our grandparents were not able to appease their ancestors because of a lot of things that they encountered in their time. So right now, a person who is chosen by one leading ancestor is often followed by other ancestors who say that, okay, you've been chosen already by this particular ancestor. Please bear our gifts as well and help us in terms of our peace and finding in terms of us finding peace and whatnot. So yeah, and most of the times you find that Balozi most of the times is a water spirit name. There are like mountain spirits and whatnot, but in most cases people that have Balozi, it's a water Balozi, right? Nzuza is also a water spirit. So most of the times you find that a person can have multiple water spirits because they're more easier to manage and work around because well they are similar, you know, there are those types of ancestors like spiritual gifts that are very similar. So yeah, it's very possible. You're most welcome. You are most welcome, Tokozani. I talked too much. I really like just went, I bolted into that answer like nobody's business. So yeah, but like yeah, it's very possible. And this is where as like I'm gonna add on to that, like that is why I always advise people to balance and join their ancestors because one of the major problems with people in this day and age that prevents them from initiating or prevents them from working as healers after initiating is because they have multiple ancestors and they have not properly joined and balanced their ancestors. So not being able to properly join and balance your ancestors, especially when you have like different spiritual spirits working with you, governing you, speaking to you, that is also one thing. It delays a person's spiritual growth and spiritual journey in general at the end of the day. So please take note of that and take note of the spiritual gifts that you have. It's very important. Do that and that will actually make your entire journey a lot more easier to actually tackle because a lot of people are having difficulty with this and this as the sooner you realize the need to balance everything, the easier spiritual gift becomes because it's not really as hard as people make it out to be. It isn't, and it doesn't really affect your life in the way people make it out to be. Yes, being spiritually gifted has its hassles, its restrictions here and there, but they're not that bad. Like you can continuously live your life. Like look at me. I'm in my okay, I'm not in the hot girl era or summer or anything like that, but I'm really just living a day-to-day life like I always have, and everything is just normal. The only time my life changes is when I'm in my ndumba and I'm working and I'm helping people. But outside of that, I'm just your everyday 20-something-year-old little girl getting the hang of everything else in life. So yeah, that is the reality of it. That is the reality of it. All right, so one more question, and yeah, I'll be leaving you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm so happy that a lot of you guys pitched up, especially since I didn't inform anyone that I was gonna go live. But I really appreciate the interaction. I appreciate you guys following through and yeah, asking questions and interacting with me for this video. I'm very happy about that. It's really, really, really appreciated a lot. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to ask, are you guys still interested in monthly readings, weekly predictions, and pick a card readings, like tarot card readings? Because I was actually at a point where I felt like I was gonna stop completely doing them, but it did feel as though I needed to ask how you guys would feel about it at the end of the day. So please do let me know as well on the comment section if you still want them to happen or you're good with them so far. Gogo, I dreamt of myself driving a bus but couldn't see where I was going and was afraid to get into an accident. What does that mean? Okay, so basically, this is where as you need to evaluate your life, evaluate yourself, because you are moving in a direction that you're blinded to, right? So with me saying that, what I'm trying to mean is that you are going, like, maybe there are things that you're pursuing. It could be a business, it could be a career, it could be a spiritual journey, but you are not really able to see the outcome of what it is that you're doing. So tsela tša gago a di bonagale, ne? Your paths are not showing themselves, and it can also indicate that some of your paths, your opportunities, your doors, they are closed, right? And this is where, as your paths being closed and you just seeing a lot of darkness, it can also indicate that the reason why you're not able to see your path or see where it is that you're going, or your doors being closed, could be a result of darkness, either spiritual attacks, or ancestral attack. But in most cases, it's actually a spiritual attack here, right? So you need to actually try and figure out what this is, and try to evaluate your life and also who it is that you have in your circle that may be making it very difficult for you to propel and move forward in your life. And also, it can also indicate your fear of getting an accident, right? Can also indicate that either you're gonna encounter an incident, even though it could be very small because you didn't see yourself getting into an accident, or instead of getting into an accident, you could actually be harboring a lot of fear inside of you that is preventing you from moving forward. So it goes both ways, man. There are a lot of interpretations to one dream, but I'll say that you need to evaluate where you're going and who you're with, and also check if whether there are blockages in certain things that you're pursuing in your life, and try to work on removing those blockages. Since you can't see where you're going and it's dark, that means that there's some form of darkness that is causing the blockages. Ne? And your fear of making mistakes could be blocking you even further, or there could be an incident that will happen as you're going in this particular path that will just make things worse. Ne? So you need to check those things very much, and also invest in prayer. Honestly speaking, especially when you have a dream like that, the one thing that I will tell people is to pray. Talk to your ancestors, talk to God about it. Don't just sit with it, because by praying, okay, who's calling me at 9? Okay, I'll try. Okay, my phone isn't even ringing. So by talking about or praying about certain things, it's gonna help you guys. It's gonna help prevent a lot of things that are being sent to you. Prayer is very powerful. Like, prayer is very, very powerful, guys. So don't sleep on it. Pray about that dream as much as you can, especially since there shows to be a lot of blockages in your life. Takazani Marianne, sorry. Takazani, I hope you're wonderful. I hope you're well. Jaden, hi, shout out to me. Shout out to you, Jaden. I hope you're doing good, boo. Yeah, you guys actually entered the live around the time when I'm leaving, because I actually did mention that I'll only be here for an hour. But I'm so glad you guys popped up. And next time I will notify you guys before coming in. Like, I just feel bad. But shout out to you, Jaden. Shout out to you, Marianne. I hope you guys are having a beautiful week. And I hope the month of February, I don't like calling it the month of love. Honestly, I've always hated the notion of Valentine's Day. But I hope you guys are enjoying this month and everything about it. And this year, generally, I just feel like this is a very positive. This year has a lot of positive energy. That's just how I feel, like, honestly. Oh, and by the way, guys, I hope you guys saw my video on my products. I wish I'd actually brought them with me here so I can show you guys. So yeah, I did mention that I was gonna talk to you guys on what I have there. It's lotions, right? So I have a 500 milliliter lotion and a 100 milliliter lotion. So these are lotions made with herbs and organic, like, oils, right? So, and essential oils. So we have protection lotion that is there for protecting your body from all spiritual attacks. We have money drawing lotion that brings money towards you. We have come to me lotion that just brings luck and abundance. Begamina lotion, for those who know. When you know, you know. That is Valentine, guys. You need them presents. So what else to use on the Begamina lotion? Okay, I'm so stupid. Okay, as I was saying, and we also have soaps as well. So protection, come to me, Begamina, money drawing soaps, Pindamshire soaps, And also, yeah, Pinam Chai is actually back to send us soaps. Turmeric soaps, those are actually the badges that I made today, so they will be cured very soon. I'll make a video when they're ready to be purchased. We also have sages, Palo Santos, like incense, yeah, incense sticks. Yeah. And also, what do they call those things? Yeah. And I'm forgetting what I have, guys. I literally forgot what's in stock. Yeah, incenses and also like the peppers. So yeah, so like I did mention, it's now there on my catalog on you on WhatsApp. So yeah, the number is 0655051216, and on that particular catalog, their prices are there as well, and details on how to use them, and also the washer packages. So like I said, like since you guys know that I've been selling the washers for a while, like the washers are still the same. The difference is that they are mixed with natural herbs, right? So we have protection, cleansing, money and luck, businesses, home protection. So these are strictly prophetic things, right? These are strictly prophetic washers, and for traditional cleansings and whatnot, it's always going to be a matter of using the method of consulting and being diagnosed with the right muti, because with traditional things it is different. But yeah, I just wanted to go into details about that because I have been saying that I'll tell you guys what we have there. But everyone else who's on my WhatsApp, they've seen the videos, they've seen the catalog. So any queries, please check it out there, because yeah, a lot of people have been asking me about it. So yeah, I've always directed them to my catalog. So I just wanted to go into details on what is there. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna laugh and leave you guys, and next time I go live, I'm gonna have my samples here, like the same ones I put in that video, just to show off, because I did all of those with my bare hands, and I'm so proud of myself. Like I'm just so happy with myself. I don't want to lie. This is this is pretty nice, if I say so myself. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to love and leave you guys, and I'm very grateful for you guys joining me. I'm very happy that you guys pitched up and interacted with me on this video, especially in such a short notice. Have a beautiful night. Thank you so much, my loves. Anyways, Tokozani. Bye bye, guys. Okay, I don't know how to leave the live now. I literally haven't used this for so long. Okay, what do I do?